Welcome aboard Boat Club Trafalgar's More Time Out Tips and Tricks video series. Get ready to dive into some nautical know-how to make your boating experience even more enjoyable. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now we're going to come alongside. Coming alongside is an important skill to have in the back of your pocket, and we're going to go through each step by step. Let's get started. When we're coming alongside, we want to give ourselves as much space as practically possible, which gives us time to do things like putting out our fenders, getting our lines prepped, and briefing our crew. When we approach the pontoon, we want to approach the pontoon at around 30 to 40 degrees. And once we're about a boat length away from the pontoon, we then want to turn away from the pontoon and just gently go into forward. That should straighten out the boat to make us perfectly parallel with the pontoon. Notice how I'm just going in and out of gear here, making sure that we approach this as slowly as possible. If we do have enough speed or too much speed when we approach the pontoon, we can always slow ourselves down by turning towards the pontoon and just gently going into a stern. Make sure that when you're approaching the pontoon, you're keeping an eye out for how the elements are affecting us. So on our approach, we want to be really nice and slow and make sure that we're approaching at around 30 to 40 degrees. Just going in and out of gear. Once we get really close, about a boat length away, it might be a little bit closer depending on what the conditions are like, we then turn away from the pontoon and just engage into forward just to get our boat parallel to the pontoon. If we do have a little bit too much speed, we can always slow ourselves down with a touch of reverse by turning towards the pontoon. So going nice and slow here, have a little bit of a breeze that's picked up. I am now turning away from the pontoon, trying to get the back in, like we have now. And then if we do need to slow ourselves down, I'm just going to give us a touch of reverse here because we haven't got much of an element working against us at the moment. There we go, we're now nicely alongside. Turn off the engine, step on board the pontoon, pull ourselves nice and parallel along the pontoon, and now just a figure of 0, figure of 8 and another 0, and then we do the same thing with the bow line. Do a 0, figure of 8 and another 0, and that will hold us nicely against the pontoon. If we do have slightly rougher conditions, or if we know that the wind is going to pick up overnight, you might opt to spring the boat off, where you essentially get the bow line, tie it around the center or towards the stern and get that nice and tight, and then do the same with the bow line, and that should then stop any unnecessary movement. Awesome. For now, we've got the sun out, we've got hardly any wind, so we're going to leave it how it is. That's it for today's More Time Out Tips and Tricks video. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to make sure you stay up to date to any of our latest videos.